Medicare is not free. If you came in here and thought that it was, you wouldn't be the first person who did. And the reason for that confusion is because you've been paying FICA taxes during the years that you or your spouse has worked. And if you have at least 40 quarters of FICA taxes paid, that's a lot like 10 years, then your Part A premiums have already been paid. If you didn't have the 40 quarters, Part A is really expensive. It's over $550 a month. So fortunately, Part A is going to be paid in both of your cases. Part B has a monthly premium, which for most people right now is $185 a month. And there's some exceptions to that, and I'll explain that. But Medicare bills quarterly. If you're taking Social Security, then they're going to bill you, they're going to take it out of your Social Security check. If you're not taking Social Security, they send you an invoice. A lot of times people get that first invoice and it's $550. And they're like, whoa, what is this? I thought it was $185 a month. It's a quarter. It's 3 months. If you don't want it done quarterly, then you can set up something called Easy Pay. And again, you do that on ssa.gov, and that's a direct draft from a bank account, and then they'll do it for you monthly. A lot of people, this is very popular. A lot of people do that. Either of you contributing to the HSA? Okay. If you have friends that are, let them know that they need to discontinue making contributions to their HSA 6 months before taking any part of Medicare. That includes Medicare Part A. Now, I said most people pay $185 a month. There are some exceptions, and that is if you were a substantial income earner, then you could be subject to higher premiums. It's called, they're looking at your modified adjusted gross income, that's MAGI, and they're looking back 2 years. So in 2025, they're looking back at your 2023 income. If your modified adjusted gross income filing individually was in excess of $106,000, or filing jointly was in excess of $212,000, then we're going to introduce you to Maggie's friend, IRMAA. IRMAA is an additional surcharge that people pay who have income in excess of those thresholds. And there's 5 tiers of IRMAA. The first one takes you from $185 to $259. And it goes up all the way to as much as $628.90 a month. That's per person. And you have to really be making a lot. It's like, $700,000 income or something. It's a lot. That's my goal in life, is to get to pay the IRMAA surcharge. And that affects both Part B and Part D. What I'm illustrating here is Part B because that's the bigger of the two. Part D has its own additional charges. Now, if that happens to affect you, then contact me and I'll help you with it. We'll figure out some ways of maybe appealing it. So like if you made substantial income in excess of this and then you retired, you would have a change of life. And we would appeal it on that basis. We would tell them, oh yeah, I did have a great income 2 years ago, but I'm now retired and this is going to create a hardship for me. And we'll probably win that appeal. There are some, you might be saying, well, my income isn't going to exceed that, so I'm not at risk of that. Well, you might be, because what happens if you sell something? You sell an asset. And for that 1 year, you've got a spike in your adjusted gross income. Guess what? You're going to be subject to IRMAA for that year. They reevaluate it every year. They look at it again every year.